Geological conditions. Very dry climates in desert regions of the world preserve what would normally be perishable objects. The heat of the desert and the absence of moisture prevent decay. Some of the greatest archaeological finds in Egypt owe their survival to its dry climate. The main example of this is the contents of Tutankhamun's tomb, which, located here, was undiscovered until 1922, when excavating they found the first step. Other examples include huge wooden ships, which were buried in boat pits beside the pyramids of Giza, and papyri, which contained a wealth of ancient written evidence. In more temperate regions, organic material normally decays, but archaeological evidence may be preserved in lakes and rivers under layers of silt and in waterlogged peat bogs. In peat bogs, acids in the soil help to prevent decay. This acid is known as sphagnon. The Tolen Man and the Lindo Man are examples of this type of preservation, and we're going to be learning a lot more about this very shortly. Very cold climates can also provide perfect conditions for the preservation of organic material, including human remains. A perfect example of this is Utsi the Iceman, who died around 5,000 years ago and was found in the Italian Alps in 1991. He was so well preserved, as you can see here in this picture, which was taken by the hiker who discovered him. He was so well preserved that the police were initially called, as they believed that it was a recent murder victim. The cities of Pompeii and Herculaneum were preserved in AD 79 under layers of volcanic ash and mud when Mount Vesuvius erupted. Previously in the unit, we have looked at buildings and paintings and other sources which have been preserved in Pompeii and Herculaneum, but on your screen is the plaster cast of a person who died during the eruption. When the archaeologists were excavating in the 19th century, they would find a series of holes in the ground. A famous archaeologist by the name of Fiorelli decided one day to fill in the hole with some plaster, and sure enough, we can see the outline of the body, which is plenty of them around the site. This is a classic example of geological conditions preserving human remains, albeit in an alternative manner. In other examples, layers of silt and wind-borne sand can also bury and preserve ancient sites. Egypt is an obvious example of the later case. Many of the famous monuments visited by tourists today, such as Deir el-Medina, which we will study in Term 3, were once completely covered by huge sand drifts. Ironically, their excavation has exposed them to destructive agents.